This is the Truth Network.
Hidden treasures of the Song of Songs, which is Solomon's. First, let me just say how fun and how amazing it is. I think that we're actually applying the verse we're going to talk about today just as we start off, because this is so much fun. And I know that Jesus is in the midst of this. So I am so grateful that you share these with me, because I can tell you I enjoy doing them so very, very much. And I know Jesus enjoys us doing them together. So today we are in the third verse of the 6th chapter, which would be the Gimel verse, which has to do with the rich man running after the poor man. And of course, you know, this is Jesus running after us in so many ways, giving back what was stolen. And of course, what was stolen is our union with him. And so here we have it back in so many different ways. So the third verse, interestingly, she quotes something that she said to an extent in the 2nd chapter, but she reverses it. So in the second chapter, she said, "My beloved is mine, and I am his. He feedeth among the lilies." But here she changes it, and she changes it and puts the me second instead of first. She says, "I am my beloved's, and my beloved is mine. He feedeth among the lilies." And so if you think about it, you know, with that idea of lilies being very much the idea of praise or worship, that you know, we just saw worship in the last verse. We see it again here. And so, you know, rejoice in the Lord always. And again, I say rejoice. And so you can see that for me, I see it clearly between the two verses that we talked about yesterday and today. So, you know, the really neat thing, if you look at this in Hebrew, is it's a lot like the 16th Psalm, or there's a place in the 119th Psalm where God talks about, where David talks about the Lord being his portion, and this is the same kind of idea. But in this sense, it is we are his portion. That we really, literally, it says, "I am his." In other words, we are the same. It's really an amazing thing the way it looks in Hebrew. Is the union that's provided here is that, you know, we become one here. As we are his portion, he is our portion. But, you know, the way Matthew Henry puts it, I love it. I'm going to quote it exactly because I think it's more than eloquent way he said this. He's referring to the way that it was reversed to where Jesus comes first in this particular way that she says, "I am my beloved and he is mine." So he says, if our hearts can but witness for us that we are his, then there's no room left to question his being ours, for the covenant never breaks on his side. How powerful is that? Like, I mean, it's significantly huge that, you know, we are his. I mean, and as we talked about before, that when the pot and the fire in Abraham's covenant came forth, that Abraham didn't do his part of the covenant, just God did his part of the covenant. And so much so in all our relationship with Jesus. And how beautiful is this, that she says this at this point in time in response to the daughters of Jerusalem, who are now also seeking after Jesus. But again, after she realizes where he has been all along, which was in her heart, she now comes back to the fact that that's exactly what's going on. And all we have to do is be aware that we are his. And then, you know, she makes emphasis again of the fact that he pastures, or he feeds among the lilies. And the word there is the exact same word as shepherd. So, you know, he is shepherding us among the lilies, but it also is the idea that, you know, the Lord is our shepherd from the 23rd Psalm. In every which way I can possibly think of it, that's exactly what he's doing, is he is shepherding us. You know, he's making us lay down in green pastures. He's leading us beside still waters. He's guiding us in righteousness, all those things, all in the same package. But then he says, then she says, among the lilies, which once again, that idea of lilies is rejoicing and fruitful. And so as you think about that, you know, what was the, you know, Jesus, I can assure you, was at the highest point of your life. All the greatest moments where you were in complete joy, however that looked, I can assure you, and I was thinking about it this morning, like the day that I married Tammy and how amazing that was, and all the way that we rejoiced that Jesus was right there shepherding us as we are rejoicing, especially if we're rejoicing in his presence in church and that kind of thing. But also, when my son was born and both my daughters, like what an amazing thing that happened, when they were born and at their graduations and different events, is at their weddings. Like, oh my goodness, when my granddaughter was born, that Jesus is right there in your gladdest moments. He is shepherding us towards that, because in his presence is fullness of joy. And to be in fullness of joy, is the whole deal. And so I am beloved. I am my beloved, and my beloved is mine. He especially loves to pasture us in those points of joy. And so again, it's a struggle for a lot of us, and for me at times, to think, is God really for me in this? There's things that are going on in my life that I really feel like are set against me. But the issue is faith. Do I believe this? I mean, does my heart totally grasp this, that I don't have to go looking about the city? And if I can get to the point where I can just completely strip down and let him be my cover, right? And completely be, my joy, at that point in time, I'm a lily. And as he is pollinating, then obviously we bear fruit, because everybody out there watching wants a life like that. I mean, they want to see joy. They want to see happiness. They want to see all this, and I just think about, one of the gifts I'm sure that God gave me is my laugh. And, if there's one thing that people say to me constantly about my on-air presence is, Robbie, we love to hear you laugh, or it makes us laugh. And so what a gift that is, because I know that was a gift from him, but it also is a point of joy, right? So if you're thinking about, wow, I mean, he pastures, he feeds among the lilies. When we're out there laughing and laughing and having joy about the right things, right? Then think about it. There he is in our midst. And can't you just wait? I mean, can't you hardly wait to hear his laugh? I mean, for real? Like, when we really, really get to hear his laugh, can you imagine what that is going to be like? Can you imagine what it would be to see his smile and to hear his laugh? I'm so looking forward to that. I'm thinking it's going to be the best laugh ever. Thanks for listening.